When life burns everything to the ground, don't panic. That's not your ending. That's your blank page. But the world didn't want the truth. It wanted the mask, so he wore it. He laughed in public and broke in private. He smiled through pain. A morning alarm at 5 a.m. with no reason but discipline, tiny things, small wins. No one clapped. No one cared. But that's where power was born. He wasn't building revenge. He was building relevance to himself. They say starting from scratch is painful. Only the quiet belief that there was yet more to his story. There were setbacks. On some evenings, everything cried out, "Give up! This is too difficult," and choose to rise anyway. He doesn't seek pity, doesn't crave credit. He's not fueled by noise. He's driven by necessity. The necessity to build the life he wasn't handed, get up and start from scratch. Because sometimes, rock bottom is the strongest foundation you'll ever have. To become the person no one believed he could be, and most of all, to never need saving again. He didn't yell back though, whispered instead. One more rep, one more day, one more shot, and every whisper turned into a roar inside you. Your silence doesn't mean defeat, it means you're sharpening your edge. But it's also pure because this time, it's yours. Because applause doesn't build you, struggle does. Solitude does, and he realized something most never will. He wasn't starting from nothing. He was starting from truth, from clarity, from hunger. And from that place, there's only one direction to go up. They can take your job, your comfort, even your peace. But they can't take your will unless you hand it over. Until smiling became too heavy. And he discovered something uncommon in that loneliness. The seed of a fresh start. Sometimes your real life doesn't begin until everything familiar has been taken away. No lies can shake it. No critics can break it. Because it wasn't given, it was earned. And now the world sees him. But too late, because he doesn't need their eyes anymore. He's already seen himself. There was a man who had nothing left. No money, no support, no direction. But what hurt more than losing everything was realizing no one truly cared that he did. And tap the bell icon because your comeback doesn't need an audience. But it does need reminders like this. He looked around, family, friends, colleagues all silent, all watching. No hand reached out. No one said, "I've got you." The most deafening silence is when your world collapses, and no one even notices the dust. He tried explaining what he was going through, tried to speak his pain out loud. One day, he looked in the mirror not to fix his face, but to meet the stranger he had become. Tired eyes, empty hands, shattered confidence, a shattered confidence, a whisper, "Start again." Not for them, not for them, not for applause. But because the fire within him still had a spark left. His pain became his blueprint. Solitude became his sanctuary. And his silence, that became his strategy. He trained in the dark while they doubted. He grew in silence while they gossiped. He rose in discipline while they remained distracted. They thought he disappeared, but he wasn't gone. He was becoming. Because you may succeed without being noticed. You just need to start, and that was all he needed. Not a plan, not permission. Just that spark, because building is your only option after all. Else has been lost. He stopped trying to explain, stopped begging for understanding. And instead, he picked up the first piece of book, a jog, a journal entry. He made peace with his past, not by forgiving it, but by using it. Brick by brick, he began to rebuild. With no mentor, no map, no promise of success. The world still didn't applaud, but he didn't need it anymore. Now, he walks differently. Still quiet, still calm. But his silence carries weight, because he knows what it's like to break. Starting from scratch isn't the curse, it's the cure. Because what he built from scratch, no one can take it from him. If life has burned you to the ground, don't wait for someone to rebuild you. If this story awakened a fire inside, you don't let it die. And like this video, subscribe to Mind Wisdom.